We say all praises be to the Creator, all power to His people. In the name of Yahshua, the Black Revolutionary Messiah, I greet you, my brothers and sisters, in the spirit of truth and the words of peace. Shalom Aleichem. Giving a special salute to the Black Messiahs. Our motto is stop waiting for a Savior and be one. Stop waiting for a Savior and be one. This morning, coming from the scriptures, beginning with 1 Kings, 18th chapter, 21st verse. And Elijah came to all the people and said, how long halt between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him. But if Baal, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. And then Elijah said unto the people, I, even I, only remain a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it to pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it, and I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And you shall call on the name of the Lord, call you on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord. And the God that answers by fire, let him be God. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. Going to the Gospel according to Matthew, 6th chapter, 24th verse. No man can serve 2 masters, for either he shall hate the one and love the other, or he shall hold to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. Going to Revelation, 3rd chapter, 15th verse. I know your works, and you are neither cold nor hot. I would rather you were cold or hot. So then, because you are lukewarm and neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth. Brothers and sisters, today, dealing with the subject, make the choice. Make the choice. Today, brothers and sisters, as we look in our communities, we see the shape of our communities, not only in Durham, but across the nation. We wonder why things have not changed. You wonder if the people are so dissatisfied, if the people always say we want change, if the people say, oh Lord, what we gonna do? Why are things still remaining the same? Why are things still remaining the same? If we have people who call themselves holy, who call themselves righteous, who call themselves conscious, who call themselves black power advocates, who call themselves revolutionaries and revolutionists, why do our communities remain in the same? The reason is, brothers and sisters, because many of us, no matter how righteous we say we are, no matter how holy we say we are, no matter how many times we throw up the black fist, no matter how many times we wear red, black, and green, no matter how many times we go to church on Sunday, no matter how many times we go to the temple or the synagogue on Saturday, no matter how many times we go to conscious lectures, no matter how many lectures we've listened to and watched by Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark and Barry Shango, no matter how many times we've done that, many of us have still not made up our minds which side we are on. So when you have not made up your mind, you're basically an observer, you're basically at a standstill, and you're just basically sitting there watching. Now understand, if you're in your 20s, early 20s, or teens and 20s, you still trying to figure it out. You still are exploring. You still are trying to say, okay, maybe this is the right way. Maybe that's the right way. I've known this all my life, and I've got this new information. And now I'm a little confused. I can understand if you're in your teens and maybe early 20s. But when you are 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and still not made up your mind, that's a problem. What are you waiting for? Elijah is in a predicament. Ahab, the king of Israel, married a woman called Jezebel of another belief system. Jezebel had as her mission to get rid of, murder, slaughter the prophets of the God of Israel and replace them with the prophets of Baal. So many were slaughtered. Some of them went into hiding. So Elijah, with having to face the prophets of Baal, having to face the enemy, he looked around. He looked around. He said, it ain't nobody but me. Everybody else is dead. Everybody else is slaughtered. Everybody else, or the other people, are hiding. Ain't nobody but me. And 450 of y'all against little old me. But he asked the people who were watching, no doubt watching to see Elijah finally gotten rid of. See, those of us who are revolutionists, those of us who walk the righteous path, sometimes people sit around and they see the odds against you and they want to see that troublemaker be slaughtered. If we could just get rid of Martin Luther King, if we could just get rid of Garvey, if we could just get rid of Malcolm X, if we could just get rid of them, we can have peace. We can have peace. So the crowd was gathered around, and Elijah said, how long, ask them, how long will you halt between two opinions? How long will you halt between two opinions? How long will you just stand there, not making a commitment this way, not making a commitment that way, not knowing if you're going to worship the God of Israel, not know if you're going to worship Baal? You are confused, so you're just standing there. How long will you halt between two opinions? If God be God, follow him. If Baal be God, follow him. And the people answered him not a word. And you know the rest of the story. Elijah, by the grace of the Most High and the power of the Most High, was able to have a contest with the prophets of Baal, and he defeated all of them. He defeated all of them because God was with him. See, Elijah already knew his purpose. Even though he was outnumbered 450 to 1, even though he had the government after him, even though he had the city council after him, even though he had the mayor after him, even though he had the right-wingers after him, even though he had those who were killing, poisoning the community after him, even though he was outnumbered, he said, ain't nobody left but me. He knew he had God with him. Now, in your cities, brothers and sisters, you outnumbered. You are outnumbered. You might be the last person in your city raising the black power fist. You might be the last person in your city representing the master teachers. You might be the last, spiritually speaking, you might be the last person in your city who said, no matter what, I will not sell out. You might be greatly outnumbered, but know today that God, the Lord of hosts, is with you. But you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. A revolutionist one time told me, he said, don't ever get caught in the middle, because the person in the middle gets killed first, because you're going to be attacked by both sides. If you don't make a decision, neither side is going to respect you, and both of them are going to attack you. Revelation says, I know your works, that you are neither cold nor hot. I would rather you were cold or hot. But because you are lukewarm, neither cold nor hot, I will spew you out of my mouth. We have too many lukewarm righteous people, lukewarm conscious people, lukewarm black nationalists, lukewarm black power advocates. You are righteous only when you're around other righteous people. You are conscious only when you're around other conscious people. You are about black power only when you're around black power people. But the moment the odds change and the numbers change, you got to go around people who aren't righteous, who aren't conscious, who aren't about black power, then you start hemming and hawing and backing down. You're lukewarm. You're lukewarm. If you are cold, water is cold, you can drink it. If water is hot, you can wash in it. But something that's lukewarm has no purpose. You have no purpose because you're 30, 40, 50, 60, sometimes 70 years old, and you still have not made up your mind. I remember from an old Public Enemy CD. It asked the question, right versus wrong, good versus evil, God versus the devil, which side are you on? Which side are you on? What you waiting for? What you waiting for? You know you got a purpose to stand up for your people, but you indecisive. Don't know if you want to be righteous or don't know if you want to be a gangster. Don't know if you want to be a right-wing Republican or a revolutionist. Don't know if you want to fight for your people or sell your people out. You're caught in the middle. You caught in the middle. There's a war going on against our people on many levels. And you who have not made up your mind, you who are lukewarm, are holding up the revolution. It ain't the enemy that's holding up the revolution, because just like Elijah the prophet said, I'm the last one left. Everybody else is either hiding or dead. Ain't nobody left but me, and there's 450 of them. But the Lord of hosts is with me, and he was victorious. So the revolution is being held up by those who profess to believe but don't really believe. have not made a conscious decision of which side you're on. That's why Yeshua, the black revolutionary Messiah, said in Matthew, the gospel according to Matthew, 6th chapter, 21st verse, no man can serve two masters. Either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. What is mammon? Mammon is wealth, idolatry, dirty lucci, dirty money, mammon. You can't serve God and material wealth at the same time. Because if you try to serve God and material wealth at the same time, the devil will always offer you something to sell out. The devil will always offer you something to sell out. And when I say devil, I'm talking about the adversary, the enemy, whatever your devil might be. If you have not made up your mind, you cannot serve two masters. You either love one or hate the other. Ain't no in between. Ain't no in between. We try to give people too many options. Too many options. So I'm going to pay you to stop destroying the community. I'm going to pay you to stop destroying the community. The problem with that is you are never going to have more money to give them to stop the killing in the community than those who will pay them to destroy the community. If you are talking about material, if you're talking about mammon, you will never have more money to pay those who are shooting and killing and destroying your community. You ain't going to have more money than the enemy, the adversary, has to pay them to destroy the community. Destroying the black community is a multi-trillion-dollar business a year. You ain't going to have that type of money. Only thing you can do is go to people and say, choose you this day who you going to serve. No man can serve two masters. Either you're for the rise and liberation of black people or you're against it. Either you're with God or you're with the devil. Ain't no other options. Ain't no other options. The day of being lukewarm, confused, sitting by watching till you make up your mind, that's over. That's over. Black Messiahs, that day is over. Choose you this day which side you on. If God be God, serve God. If Baal be God, serve Baal. But make a choice this day, which side you on. As always, we leave you with the Black Messiah motto: stop waiting for a Savior and be one. Shalom.